Well, Stanley Kroenke, the owner of Arsenal, is ready to really make a finance of a spending spree of £200 million this summer for Mikel Arteta. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? My group name is Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It's a Thursday and I hope you guys are really having a wonderful Thursday. Where I am, it's really warm, you know. The way the weather changes and climate in my country, it's really good, because sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, you know, but nevertheless we keep going. And Fabrizio Romano has told us that the contract of Bukayo Saka is signed and sealed and it's due to be announced next week. And lastly, we are discussing Mason Mount, a very huge story coming in from Ryan Taylor Sport, confirming to us that Arsenal is into the mix of sweet talking Mason Mount to come in and join the Gunners, to cross from one side of London to join another London club. So Rokani David is my name. Let's see close to 200 likes smash on this video, and let's not forget to subscribe to this channel so as to hit 14,000 subscribers onto this channel. Now, Steve K, very close journalist for Arsenal and is an Arsenal correspondent for the transfer.com. He has told us that Arsenal owner Stan Kroenke is to give Mikel Arteta £200 million war chest to strengthen the squad this summer, with the full aim to compete on all fronts next season, including embarking on a serious pursuit to win the Champions League for the first time in the club's history. Now, £200 million, it's the figure that is being discussed into this beautiful game of transfers. When you look at the figure that is being talked about by Steve K, I understand it's a huge amount of money, but according to the team of Arsenal and the quality of players they're really willing to add to the team, is £200 million enough? As we've always come in here and really told you that Declan Rice will go for £92 million, you know, and they want £80 million up front. The other ones will come in as add-ons. Let's count £80 million. Caicedo, £80 million is what Brighton is in need of. That is £160 million, meaning that out of the £200 million, on the purchase of only two players, £160 million would have been gone. Only 40 would have been left. When you look at the 40 remaining, Arsenal need to sign a right back. They need to sign a right-footed or right-sided centre back, and they need a left-footed dynamic winger. You know, meaning that Arsenal needs 5 players. Now, £200 million in the ears of many, it might sound much, but to Mikel Arteta, it's not really huge, because he has to address also the left back situation. We all know that Kroenke wants out of Arsenal, and Newcastle is willing to pay £40 million for the player. Even Man City is into the mix. But out of the £40 million, I think £15 million are going to go back to Celtic, meaning that Arsenal will be left with just £25 million. Now, what makes this amount of money huge is, if at all, they are not including the sales of players on that amount of money. If you tell me that Arteta is going to be given £200 million to spend when he's only going to really not include the sales onto that amount of money, then it can be huge, because if you sell Kroenke at £40 million and you have 25 because the 15 will have to go to Celtic, you sell Ferran Balogun at 40, that is 65 more. There is Saka, you know, 15, that is 80 more. Then there is this guy, Pablo Mari, 6, you know. So that means Arsenal can raise £100 million from sales of the players. If at all Arteta is going to add the £100 million on the 200 to make it 300, I think that will be something great for Mikel Arteta, and I always back him on really getting in players, because I think the only player that has ever gotten and really bought in here and flopped was Willian. But the rest of the players have gone ahead to do okay. Even Nuno Tavares and Albert Sambi Lokonga, they are still into the development stage. They are still young. None of them has even hit 23 years of age. It shows you how a high ceiling they've got for them to improve. And if at all they are to be sold right now, Tavares, Arsenal want 40 million euros out of the player whom they bought at 8 million pounds. Albert Sambi Lokonga came in at Arsenal at 18 million pounds. If Burnley is to go in for him, they are supposed to pay close to 30 million pounds. So, all of the players that Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to buy when they're still young, he can make profit, and moreover huge profit, of those players. You know, look at Pablo Mari, came in at 800,000 pounds, and they've managed to make a profit of 5.2 million pounds. You know, Tavares, 8, even if they sell him at 20, they would have gone ahead to get in 12 million pounds more. Albert Sambi Lokonga, they can make in 12 million pounds more out of the sale of that player. And that's the beauty of the transfer season of Arsenal. So we are here to wait and see how this is going to be really broken down. If 200 million pounds are going to be there to spend minus the sale of players' money, then that will be great for Arsenal, because that means Arsenal will be spending 300 million pounds, and that will be something great for Arsenal to come in and compete with City. If at all they get in Rice, Caicedo, Yao Cancelo, you know, I think it will be some good business done by Mikel Arteta and his board. So let's wait and see how that money is going to be spent. But remember, even last summer, it was rumored that Arsenal had 200 million pounds to spend in the summer, but they ended up spending 121 million pounds only. That's it. So the financial fair play rule is in play, but with the huge exodus of players leaving Arsenal, I think it's going to be making a lot of sense. You know, the wage bill of Arsenal is going to be reduced. I understand, because Cedric Soares is leaving, Hien will leave, Xhaka is leaving, you know, Balogan, and very many others. Close to 6 or 7, 8 players of Arsenal are going to be sold by Mikel Arteta to reinforce his squad. Now, Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and confirmed to us the following about Bukayo Saka contract situation. I know most Arsenal fans have been worried about this, but he has told you to really relax and float. Things are really happening, and Arsenal are really working on it to get done and dusted and get announced. Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal will announce Bukayo Saka's deal in the next weeks. All done and agreed since February. Documents ready. It will be valid until 2028. Final details being sorted with Aaron Ramsdale, and is gonna sign a new deal very soon. So, Arsenal fans, be reluctant, you know, relax and float. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed to you that everything is done and dusted. Sorry about that. Bukayo Saka contract is signed already, and it's yet to be announced. That's what Fabrizio Romano is going to let us know. And even Bukayo Saka himself came out and confirmed to us that he wants to stay at Arsenal. He wants to be at Arsenal for the next years. And him being just 21, if he adds more 5 years on his contract, at 26, he would have hit his prime at Arsenal. And if at all he will be interested in leaving Arsenal, then it will be something made in his decision, because I think in the next 5 years of his career at Arsenal, he has to do the best. And with Arsenal playing the Champions League next season, he needs to lift the club of Arsenal to the next level of winning lots of huge trophies. And let's wait and see how he's going to go ahead and really flourish into the Champions League, as even Kroenke Stan, the owner of Arsenal, is willing to come up and obviously finance Arsenal to see either they go into the Champions League and win it for the very first time. And I think it just requires consistency. Like you've seen Man City. Man City played in the finale of the Champions League of 2021, and they were beaten by Chelsea by 1-0. Then they are knocked out in the semi-finals of the Champions League of 2022 and now 2023. They're into the final after knocking out Real Madrid on an aggregate of 5-1. So it shows you that consistency pays off. Man City have kept knocking on the door of the Champions League finale, and you never know, this might be their chance to even win their first Champions League trophy with a treble even in their reach. So let's wait and see how Arsenal does it, because if at all they continue knocking on the door of the Premier League first position, they might find themselves winning it. And even if they continue doing the needful in the Champions League and qualifying season in, season out, and reaching further stages of the competition, they might find themselves really fulfilling the dream of the owner of Arsenal, known as Stanley Kroenke. That is Stanley Kroenke for you. Now, after that, let's do a little bit of Mason Mount and really call it the first video of the day. Ryan Taylor Sport, he's a journalist for the Express Sports, has confirmed to us that Arsenal are believed to be one of the several clubs to have held initial dialogue with the representatives of Mason Mount as he prepares to embark on a new challenge after failing to agree a new deal, a new contract at Chelsea. Now, Arsenal took no in for Mason Mount. This story keeps coming. You know, this is the third time I'm doing it and including it into my three tailored stories that I always do in every segment. But this one of Mason Mount keeps coming in through and knocking on the door, and I don't know why it keeps coming on through, because to me it's not making sense. It's not making sense, but it keeps coming in through, and I believe it's one of those transfers that is being pumped up by his agents. The player has not done enough on the field of play this year or this season to put him in the shop window. That's it. He doesn't want to stay at Chelsea, you know, and he's looking for a move elsewhere. Liverpool looked like they're so much interested in the player, but they are so much onto McAllister to get that deal done and dusted. So Chelsea are going to name a new manager, Pochettino. He's flying in London, I think, next week, and he's going to be unveiled very soon as Chelsea's new manager, and we don't know whether he will be of interest to keep Mason Mount as the number one center forward that they will always welcome into their team of Chelsea. So let's wait and see how everything is going to pan out into that system of Chelsea and Arsenal, but I don't see Mason Mount come to Arsenal because they really have lots of forward players who play into that position. Is it going to be a reason of getting in experience into the squad of Arsenal? That is a story for another day. So guys, your thoughts on to Mikel Arteta's £200 million summer spending spree are welcome in the comment section below. Do you think that's enough? If at all the sales are really out, then what do you think about Mason Mount to Arsenal? And lastly, the deal of Bukayo Saka. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Rokani David remains my name. I'm out.